I want to eat, but I don't have a taste for nothing. I don't know what I want to eat. And so then I'm not going to eat until I can figure that out. I don't know. It's this menopause stuff. It sucks. But it's messing with me. You heard me? My everything. Ooh. Y'all right over there? Oh, goodness. This is... I just had to re-put this thing back on. Be trying not to break it. Y'all know how many of these goosenecks I done went through. Goodness gracious. Come in. Just do right. Hello. I came to check on y'all because my dad had beat up on y'all a little bad this morning. So I wanted to make sure y'all was okay. I'm the nurse now. I'm not the surgeon anymore. I'm the nurse. So I didn't put on a different coat and I'm in here because I did not eat anything. I don't know what I want to eat. And that's the thing, like, something is... they say when you get older, your diet changes. And I'm seeing it. Yeah, my appetite is just weird right now. And then my sleep schedule is off as well. So it's 4 o'clock. And it feels like I just got up a little while ago, which I did. I didn't get up till like 10. And that is just so abnormal. I don't know what's happening. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure y'all was okay. Because I know it was a lot to unpack. That class was it's a little intense, you know. Mental health is very important. It is. It is. Yes, it is. I don't, yeah, I was just watching the rewatch from earlier on break. And what you say? Hold on now. Oh, you was just watching it. Okay. I was just making sure y'all all right, you know. I hope y'all be feeling the energy. I know y'all be feeling it. I missed this morning. I went to the doctor for the first time in years. All right, Sarah. All right. You all right? Everything good? You good? Why do I feel like... Hold on. Did I turn this? Yeah, the brightness is down. Something is off with this, and it's going to bother me until I figure it out. I will in a few minutes. I don't know what that is. You know, I'm the IT. I'm not IT, but the, what you call it? Not IT, because Alicia takes care of her IT, but everything else. Everything else. Ooh. Good job, Pumpkin. Good job. Good job. I'm proud of you. Proud. So, did anybody take notes today that was in class? Hola, Cindy. Hey, everybody. Did anybody take notes while we was in class earlier? Was there anything that stuck out to you in the story you can share if you want? I'm telling on the devil. Okay. I definitely... Do you want me to? Is that it? Y'all cousin Sarah said that she went to the doctor for the first time in a lot of years and she's going to get help with her alcohol addiction. Did you hear that? Who heard that? So let that be a witness. Let that be a witness, honey. If you know somebody, God can change their heart. There you go. There's some people in here that's struggling and they got loved ones that's struggling. So if that ain't a testimony, come on, Sarah. This is a place where you're free. And if you ain't free when you get here, by the time you leave, you will be. Everybody say amen, Sarah. They proud of you. They said you got this, Sarah. We support you. We love you. And that's a step. You got a whole bunch of support over here on TikTok too, Pumpkin. You hear me? You see, there is strength in numbers. So if you got a family member that's dealing with addiction, understand that God can release them from that. It'd be a lot going on over here. This is an emotional place. In a good way. Everybody said, you got this, babe. Congratulations, you can do it. Yeah. It's a real emotional place over here. Do y'all agree? Who cutting onions? Because this got me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not all, we ain't even been out here 6 minutes. Not this raining in your house. Your eyes is sweating. You said I've been crying all day. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Good job. That means y'all full and y'all need to go on and release. You hear me? It's happy tears. I know. They still tears. I got chills. Go ahead, girl. Look how much support you got, Pumpkin. My friends. Friend passed away today from an overdose. Wow. Wow. From earlier? Really? Well, that means you thought about some issues. And you want it. I've been crying all day too, fam. Look at us getting free. Oh, I'm proud of y'all. CERCA, I was watching this morning's class. Okay. I'm proud of y'all. God can fix it. I knew there was a God before when he changed my dad at the age of 14. I believe there was God. Come on. Okay, we healing so we can get a deal with look here. Look here. There's healing in this place. There's restoration in this place. There's remolding in this place. We definitely will. If you lost one, you know that means he just got a better one for you, right? Let me tell you something. Man say you can hold on to this and get this. Guy say, you gotta trust me enough to let go. Like you do when you teaching your kids to ride their bike. It's only so long you're gonna be able to hold them up, and then they gotta hold up themselves, right? They gotta trust that you have taught them how to stand and ride and do all that on their own. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We looking for the report of the better job with the better hours with people you actually like to work with. You hear me? You said deliverance is in this place. It is. You heard me? We looking for we only be looking for the testimonies, honey. We know the problems gotta come. But we be looking for the testimonies, and they come over here, honey. They sure do. They show up. You hear me? You can't have a miracle without a problem. But sometimes God know we put our hope and our trust in our job more than we put our hope and our trust in him. And he be trying to see if you believe that he's a problem fixer. That's all. That be it. For real. How much do you trust him? See, a lot of people say they trust God, but if they lose their job and they have to leave their beautiful home that they have and go somewhere else, they don't trust him the same. They be real, real angry. You hear me? In real life, he was a sloppy drunk alcoholic. God took him and made him a minister. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Hopefully this class teach you to not look down on people. Hopefully when you come over here, you didn't change the way that you view humans, even though they get on your every last nerve every day. Hopefully over here, you look differently at folks. Hopefully over here, the heart of God is coming to you if you didn't have it before. Facts. Oh my God, me and my friend was just talking about trusting in God and all he does. I'm trying to tell you, I would not be where I am if he didn't help me understand. And I ain't gonna always tell y'all that I just completely trusted in God, because sometimes I didn't understand. But that whole your will, his will thing, listen to me. Listen. Oh, thank you. Listen to me. When you get your will out of the way, it's not as much disappointment. I'm going to say that again for the people that didn't hear me in the back. Okay? Do you hear me? person until I came here, and the class really humbled me. Oh, wait a minute. Listen, man, Auntie Prayer Works, my baby almost got hit by a car, but the car missed. Come on, God got her. And dude, congratulations, and thank you, God, that she is okay. I told y'all, pray over them kids and anoint them every day. I was not playing with that. You can send angels with your children. You can do that. You pray and ask God to cover them and put warring angels around them, protection angels around them. This is a real thing. You can do this. Thank you with everything that happened to me. I thank God for keeping me strong, even when I didn't feel strong. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, why would you want to stay over there on the other side? This way, now it's a difficult transition. We ain't gonna lie and say it ain't. But baby, I will not go back to that other life. I don't want it. Nothing about it made me happy. I was always sad. I mean, I'm a happy person for the most part, but I don't. A lot of y'all learn to be authentic over here. Hello. It was a lot of people that came over here and realized that you were not living an authentic life. I know, because I used to do it too. As long as I looked good and people assumed that my life was one way, then I thought I was okay. But I was dying on the inside. I was empty. I was miserable. I was lost. A lot of y'all, since you came over here, you learn to be authentic in yourself, and to not that I don't care, I'm gonna do all this horrible stuff. No, listen, your view is your view of me, but where I'm at in my life right now, I'm just trying to make sure I'm okay. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I don't want to offend nobody. I just need space, and if you can't respect me trying to change, then I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm pulling all of the distractions off, and I am bearing my vulnerable self to the world. And if the world don't like my vulnerability, I don't know what to tell you. But wearing all of those cover-ups and wearing all of the stuff that kept me from being able to be 100% who God made me, I got to take that off the costumes. I don't want to wear them. Our jobs can be a costume. Our husbands and our marriages can be a costume. Okay, our clothing can be a costume. Jobs, everything. Our church can be a costume. But when you start to strip off those things that make you feel secure, you hear me? You understand? And you say, God, I'm bearing my natural. This was who I messed up. Can you help me? I'm tired of being right back here. I'm tired of feeling guilty. I'm tired of feeling nasty. I'm tired of being scared. I'm tired of worrying about, like, when will you give the weight to him and let him change you? He said, I'm the potter and you the clay. I can bust this stuff down and make whatever I want to, whatever type of vessel I need, I can make it. If I need a pot for washing clothes, I can make it. If I need a cup for drinking, I can make it. If I need a vase to carry water, I can make it, because I am the potter and you are the clay. You keep trying to determine what type of vessel you are instead of allowing him to mold you into the vessel that the kingdom needs. You keep doing what you think God wants you to do instead of asking him what it is that he wants for you to do. It's a difference. I told y'all. Y'all know I sound like a bullfrog when I sing. But guess what? You couldn't have told me I wasn't going to be a choir director. I don't have to sing to be a choir director. I just need to know how it sounds. Honey, practice. Practice tapping my stuff, honey. I was ready. What you mean? Let's get this going. You understand? God said, bullfrog. No. You sound like a bullfrog when you sing. That is not going to work out for you, but I do have something, and you will be using your voice. It's okay. You hear me? When I kept trying to mold myself into what I thought God wanted, I was depressed and miserable all the time. Not that nobody could tell, because I masked it well. I covered up. I could put that, I didn't wear a face of makeup, but a face of makeup, I could put it on, baby. But when I got home and I took off my wig and I took off my lashes and I took my eyebrows off and took that lip gloss off, because that's all that I wore, maybe a little blush every once in a while. Yeah, and the heels, and just looked at my bare self. It wasn't that I saw ugly on the outside, but it was the ugliness from the inside that I had not dealt with, the things that haunted my mind and kept my sleep eluding me. Not feeling like I was enough. And the only reason you feel like you're not enough is because you're not letting God tell you your value. Anytime that man tells you your value, you're never going to be valuable. But when you allow God to invest into you, remember I talked about he be wanting his return on his investment? He is giving you gifts. He is giving you talents that nobody else on this planet has but you. But you. Not saying other people can't do it, but he has a specific thing that he gave you. He wants his return on his investment. You're valuable to God, whether this world makes you feel like you're valuable or not. The world didn't give you life, and the world can't take that away. The only way you will not be here is if God calls his breath out of you. There are people that have lived through crazy stuff, and you're like, how are you still alive? I don't know. How are you still mentally strong? I don't know. I can't take any credit of my own. It has to be God, because most people that have gone through this have not been okay afterwards. And that is every last one of our stories, because even though our stories are similar, okay, you had to have the mental strength to make it out of whatever it was that plagued you. Someone else might not have been as strong. Somebody else might have cracked under the pressure. Personal strength is not equated on the same level, because God has given each one of us a measure of it for our issues that will happen in our lives. You got it? Can't nobody measure your strength but God, because he's the one that gave it to you. Can't nobody measure your value, because they did not give it to you. Nobody can measure your skill, really, because man is forever telling you what you can't do. God is constantly saying, without me, with me, you can do whatever you want. I don't care how big. I can do it. Try me. You hear me? Come on. Try him. Put him to the test. He tell you to. Why wait? I wouldn't. I promise you, I've been through some horrible things, but I can tell you this. It don't even match the heights of the things that God has done in my life. It don't even come close, because he always makes it better. When you depend on you, No. When you depend on him, he can come after the deadline. He can come whenever he wants. It's still going to be on time. And don't always take no like he didn't hear you. Sometimes no is, I'm busy getting your blessing together. Sit down and be quiet. Don't be the kid that keeps coming into the kitchen when your mama and your daddy is trying to get something prepared for you and keep saying, is it done yet? Are you cooking? I'm so hungry. Well, I'm just going to stand right here and watch while you cook. No, go sit down. I'm going to get it to you when I get it to you. Just understand, I'm preparing something for you, and you don't have to be all on my back while I'm doing it. Go do your homework. Go fold your clothes. Go get busy doing something else while I'm preparing your blessing for you. Hurry up. Because it's not going to get done no faster because you in here bothering me. As a matter of fact, what's going to happen is I'm going to take longer because I got to keep stopping to talk to you. I'm waiting on God. No, he waiting on you. You hear me? He waiting on you. He said before you even prayed, I already had it available. So who waiting on who? Have you done what it is that he asked you to do while he getting your blessing together? Hello. You so busy worried about the blessing that you forgot what it is that he told you to do while you waiting. Because you don't see how that's relevant to how your blessing is going to come. He said, get busy doing the things that I ask you to do. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Didn't you ask me to do it? Okay. Well, when are you going to do it? That ain't your business. Get up and go do what I told you to. Y'all know because y'all have to say this to y'all kids. Well, you said you were going to take me to McDonald's, and I also told you to clean your room. You haven't done that yet, but you keep coming in here and asking me about when we're going to McDonald's. We won't be going if you don't do what I ask you to do. So I'm going to say this. Do not get upset with God because he promised you that he would do something, but you still haven't done what it is that God is asking you to do while he is putting your blessing together. I want a husband. I want a husband. I want a husband. What you done did to make sure you a good wife? I want me a wife. Man, bro, but you ain't had 6 months of celibacy not one time. Hell, you ain't even been monogamous in the relationships that you in, but you asking God to give you a good wife, give you a good husband. What is good about you that God should take something? It don't matter if the person got a past or not. When God changed you, it is what it is. Why should he give them to you? Have you taken time to pray for the person, not for them to come to you, but God, whoever my wife is, I ask you to make her strong. I ask you to help her in whatever situation, because you can pray for your person before they come to you. Not that he bring them to you, but that both of y'all minds is prepared. You don't got to wait till they get to you to start talking and praying for them. I don't know who it is, Dad, but you know. Not nothing about their physical character. Lord, please allow him, if he didn't get these tools as a kid. And I told y'all, there was a lot of things that I prayed. And then I read those letters. I wrote journal entries. Okay? I wrote journal entries before I was married. And I was like, just randomly, if it came to my mind and what I thought about. And sometimes it saddens me because, like I said, my interaction with my marriage taught me a lot. But I could go back through my journals before I was married, during the time I was married, and since I've been divorced, and understand that the vow that I gave God, I kept it. But I also had to be a second chance for somebody that asked God for a second chance. Now, whether he kept his word that he made to God before he met me, that doesn't have anything to do with me. But I can say that I kept my vow from what I told God I would do if I ever got married, what I did while I was married, and while I got out of my marriage and was getting out of my marriage. That's why I get the calls and can I come? Can I talk to you? Can we talk? No, because I did what I was supposed to do. Because I didn't make my vow to you. I made my vow to God first, and then I made my vow to you. And I also asked God to protect my heart if he wasn't going to be right. Somebody had to be his second chance. It was my first marriage. It was his second. And he prayed, and at way before he ever even knew I existed, he prayed and asked God, if you give me a second chance, I'm going to do right by the wife that I get. Well, that wasn't the truth. But the vow that I made to God prior to me meeting him, I kept it before, while, and then and I'm single now. And ain't running and doing, no. Because prior to me getting married, God kept telling me, hey, you want to be like a good wife to a man, but you're not even like a good servant to me. And I always been here to take care of you. You're not being a good daughter to me or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever relationship you look at that as. He said he married to the church. So if I ask you to keep your body for me, God, you can't do that. But you expect me to believe that you're going to keep your body for a man or a woman? What about when you can't see them like you can't see me? What happens when they go overseas or they get sick? If you can't do it for me, you ain't going to be able to do it for no human either. I was like, ooh, let me sit down. Niggas start having a panic attack. I need a brown paper. Anybody got a brown paper sack? Anybody? Still waiting on the brown paper sack. You hear me? Ooh. I said, why are you talking to me like that, sir? And it wasn't that I was out here crazy. But even one, and I didn't tell you to do it, it's too many. Yeah, I said this. I'm only dealing with one person, and you in fornication because that ain't your husband. Ooh, you're not married, and you've never been married. At that time, I said, this is a lot. Throat chops, girl, listen. So imagine y'all getting it all together. I had to get this by myself. By myself. I was by myself. I said, oh, you did not have to talk to me like that. And you let me know if you can keep yourself for me. I know you'll keep yourself for a man. Not that I've ever been a cheater. I haven't ever been a cheater. I'm not going to do that. Do you understand? I don't have to cheat. If I don't want to, I'm just going to tell you I don't want to, and I'm going to move on to something else. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, no. I'm going to tell you. So that's why I was like, I mean, you said, come on, Ezekiel, that's where, uh-oh. How you going to keep yourself? Come on. Mess me up. And this was before I got married. And even though I was single during this time between the man that I was with before my ex-husband and then him, it was like 3-4 years, okay? Single. And I used to complain about certain issues, and he said, well, if you get an army person and they got to be gone for 3 years, you going to be fussing in and you can't see them? What happens is something happens to him and he cannot perform in certain areas. What are you going to do? Well, first of all, why that gotta be the thing that go? It could. I mean, is that just? Are you asking me because that's gonna happen, or listen? I know God used to be like, just answer the question. You said, "Oh, we used to have these talks." Uh huh. Listen, if we gonna talk, I need to ask some questions. Cause is you asking hypothetically, or is this something you plan on sending over? I need to understand. In real life. And he will bring these thoughts to my mind, and I'm like, okay. Because I've not had a problem being by myself. My kids talk about this all the time. They used to try to get me to go on dates when they was growing up, and I'm like, no, I don't. No, thank you. That's not what I want to do. And they're grown now, and they thank me for certain things, and I'm grateful for that. You hear me? Not saying I didn't have boyfriends, but there were certain things that just didn't. I mean, I want to go eat. I want to go walk around the park. Like I want to go. Like I don't need all that other extra stuff. I'm simple. You heard me. Like, can we go eat? If you want to go eat, let's go eat. We don't got to be together to go eat. And my kids tell me all the time, we're happier that we saw you in more platonic relationships. Because it taught us a lot, Mom, that every male that is around you or every female that is around, you don't got to sleep with them. Just because the opposite sex comes into your life does not mean that you have to sleep with them. You can have real platonic relationships, and they're powerful. Because now you have a sounding board for someone that is not biased. They love you, but they gonna tell you what it is. This is why I always kept my homeboys around me like, tell me what's up. This is the same guy that I could take a new lady around. He'd be like, sis, well, she's on me. I said, I thought I felt that. But oh, okay, so now I know to watch her because I trust him. I don't have to worry about if it's funny because I didn't mess with him, and now I don't have to worry about that. Oh, you like her, bro? She'll go her. She'll go. I believe she'll go. And at the end of it, he'd be like, yeah, sis, if I wanted to go on over there, she'll go. I said, I figured that. I saw the way she changed when she was walking. She don't never do none of that. That's new. So something's going on. She don't never talk that loud. She'll never laugh that hard. Oh, I peeped. Thanks, bro. Yeah. I grew up in a house with all boys. So I listen to them talk all the time. back to what I was saying. Your road might be difficult, and it doesn't matter what other people say about it. It doesn't matter where you came from or who you used to be. Your purpose here is to help people, but people do not give you your purpose. You hear me? Did you hear that? No, thank you. People do not give you your purpose. They don't. And as you can see today from our class, that there can be people that swear up and down they love you, and really they want your whole life gone. Not just want your life, they want your life no longer. They don't want you to be here anymore. And they will continually play in your face and play in your face and play in your face until they make you lose your life. When God tells you about a person, believe him. You hear me? Believe him. God has no reason to lie to you. People have a reason, but God, he doesn't. You might not like what he say, but why would he lie to you? Especially when he wants you to do well, to be productive, to be filled with joy. These are the things that he wants for you. And sometimes we be dang near telling God, you want the worst for me. Because he won't give you what you want, but you don't know that that person wants the worst for you. And they keep you close so they can plot your demise. Do you hear me? He tried her just that hard. I couldn't believe she'd ever believe in him and in God. Listen, he told me this exact thing last week. Your story today. Uh-oh, hold on. You said what? He told me this exact thing last week. Your story today tore me up with the truth. Oh. They say, oh, got it, about somebody in your life. They say keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Well, that's what Saul was doing. That's what Saul was doing. He secretly hated David. And he kept him so close, he kept trying to get him to marry into his family. And then David did. You hear me? It's a real thing. Listen, if you have not learned nothing else at this place over here at WOIU, you have learned to pay attention to character. Yes? Y'all feel like that? Feel like you might be a better call? I mean, a better call. A better judge of character now? Yes. Let's do this. All right. Did I not charge this? Oh, I turned the light down. That's what I did. they say, really? Hold on one second, y'all. Sorry about this. These earrings, goodness gracious. Y'all ready? Y'all got y'all Bible Gateway ready? And then you're going to need book 2. Y'all want to do a little bit? Because I'm going to bed early on time this evening. Y'all want some of this? Okay, get your Bible Gateway ready. But instead of going to the NRV or the NIV or the ERV, we're going to go to the NET or the New English Translation. The New England Translation. And I'll tell y'all we're in just a minute. The NET Bible. I'm gonna wait till y'all get over there to the New English Translation, the NET, and then I'll take y'all where we're going. Give me 1 second. Ooh, water and coffee, and I know I need to make some more, but I'm not. I'm not gonna make any more coffee. I'll probably get some more water. I'm good. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna retwist this little bit of front of my hair and put one of my headscarf things on or something. I'm not doing no hair. I don't feel like it. Hola, hola. All right, y'all at the NET. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? We're getting ready to go into our fourth winter together, actually. Because we started in winter, and now it's about to be the 4th winter. That's interesting. All right. So I need you to go very quick. Now, y'all need book 2, too. We're going to be in 2 places. Oh, you all right. We go into 1 Samuel 28 in the NET version. So you're going to need book 2 and your device if you can. You said you keep us fired up. You are hilarious. I like it over here. It's a different thing over here, you know? It really is. We live in a different space over here. We in the world, but not of it. It's pretty cool. Are y'all ready? Hey, we in 1 Samuel 28, y'all. In the NET version, the net version of the Bible on Bible Gateway. Here we go. It says, in those days, the Philistines gathered their troops for war in order to fight Israel. Achish said to David, you should fully understand that you and your men must go with me into battle. Into the battle. David replied to Achish, that being the case, you will come to know what your servant what your servant can do. Achish said to David, then I will make you my bodyguard from now on. Interesting. So David was a bodyguard. Now Samuel had died, and all Israel had lamented over him and had buried him in Ramah, his hometown. In the meantime, Saul had removed the mediums and magicians from the land. Why would there be witches and warlocks in Israel? Oh, wait. Hey. Hello? Why would there be witches in the synagogues? Hello? How in the world, in the holiest city on the planet, could there be witches and warlocks? Couple of options. People from foreign lands coming in or previous wicked kings. Interesting. Come on, Mari. So what does that tell you about our space right now? That just because it's supposed to be holy, don't mean everybody in there is holy. You hear me? You hear me? Witches and warlocks like control. Wrong or right. That's what witchcraft does. It controls you against your will. How many churches control people against their will? Make people marry people that they don't want to marry. How many times you see Jesus make somebody do something? Interesting. You ever see Jesus guilt anybody into anything? Did you ever see him pressure somebody and keep asking them over and over and over and over and over to do something? So then why is it that in God's holy places there are people? Well, I don't know if this count, but the one who had multiple men and none of them were hers. What you talking about, Mari? You talking about the woman at the well? He kept asking her questions, but he wasn't berating her or saying, It's offering time, saints. It's offering time. And we ain't about to hear the word till we get no money, honey. We got to pay for God's house. We got the offering for the. All right, but if you ain't got 500, we need 4. If you ain't got 400, we need 350. If you don't got 350, we need 299. If you ain't got 299, we need 187. If you ain't got 187, we need $150 from 10 people in here. All right, everybody that got $99 and a problem A1, come on up, saints. We need everybody to get 75. You got $75. You took your wife out for a steak dinner, didn't you? You bought them kids some nice shoes, but God can't get none of your money. Will a man rob God? They not robbing God. You robbing them. God, yeah, the man might not rob God, but it sure this feel like a robbery. I came here to hear the word for free. Come on. If you need cash, go to the ATM outside, and we take paycheck allotments too. Mari. A man might not rob God, but a man is robbing me. I know what robbery feel like, and it feel like this. And don't forget your tithe. And we need to see your we need to see your taxes so we can make sure you're not lying to us after tithe money. Sister, you can't be up in here and not be married. Brothers, y'all can't be up in here and not be married. We gonna find you a husband. I didn't know that was your job. God said when a man finds a woman, and he also said it ain't no problem in being single, because then you not worried about all of this other stuff. If you are single, it's okay. God gonna use you too. The first time I saw this was the last time I went to church. Oh, They been doing it. They used to be trying to marry us young women off to off. I'm like, I'm not marrying that nigga. You cannot tell me God told you that I'm supposed to marry him and God didn't tell me. I'm not listening to you. Well, why didn't God tell me about it? He talked to me about everything else. No, thank you. If you try to manipulate somebody or force somebody to marry somebody that God did not tell them to marry, it's the same thing as you trying to put a love spell on by somebody, telling them they'll love them later. Don't worry about it. I got you. And so you're planting seeds in this person's ear, and you're planting seeds. That's witchcraft. Your pastor should only be confirming what God already told you. Your spiritual leader or whatever, whoever you go, they should only be confirming what. If you really in deep prayer about a situation, your covering is only supposed to confirm what God said. You're not supposed to go to them to get God's word. You supposed to already be prayed, and whatever they say should resonate with what it is that you prayed about. This be the problem when people be putting their pastor in God's place and going to God second and going to their pastor first. You're supposed to go to God and then make sure when you ask your leader something, you know, if you really got the spirit and they really got the spirit, it's gonna hit off. It's gonna make sense. I heard a pastor saying a single woman doing everything for herself is operating under a male spirit. Jesus. My cousin was forced to get married, and they've been separated 27 years. Hear from God and not man. Oh yes. So this is why, just because you're an ordained minister, that don't mean you gonna tell me something. Who ordained you? Man or God? That's the difference. Man can ordain all kinds. They ordain cardinals and all of them people. They eat kids and drink blood and look like the devil walking, the dead walking, the popes and stuff. Man ordained them. God didn't. That's so frustrating because I was told if you don't tithe, you cannot have a position in the church. Oh, I know. Like your time ain't tithing. You can tithe time, so what? I already know all the tricks that have been played. I heard them all. I heard a lot of them. You hear me out of the listen. I already know, and it be nuts. You said what? Listen. That part. It's a real thing of you can't just tell me whatever you want to. You can't just, oh, God told me to tell you. Well, why he didn't put nothing there? Why I didn't feel it? Why I didn't know nothing? Because he'll prick my spirit too. If you notice, even with not Sarah, Mary and Joseph, angels came to both of them. with Mary's daddy and mama. Angels came. The angel came and spoke to one, and then the angel came and spoke to the other one. So when they came back together, they both had the same message because the Spirit was speaking to both of them. I showed them the verses about tithes in Malachi and was told that I was reading it out of context. Listen. I'm just saying. Thank you, Pumpkin. I don't ever see, even the person that God was getting ready to do in or getting ready to chastise, the king or whoever it was, he let them know that David then was coming. You better chill out. He'll let somebody have a dream. It'll be some kind of oracle. God said, I reign on the just as well as the unjust. So even the evil man, he was warning them. The giants got dreams about the flood, and Noah knew about the flood. They knew their end was coming. They chose not to acknowledge God for who he was too. Not only the humans, the monsters and the giants as well. He warned them, and those two giants that kept having dreams flew to Enoch to find out what was going on. So he wasn't just warning the humans. God is fair. He was warning the giants as well. When my wife and I were picking my son's name, we got confirmation in a sermon. Come on. Come on. Come on. That part. You hear me? Like, it's a real thing that God speaks through spiritual things. It's a real thing that God moves, and he's all knowing. He has all the information. So you not going to him first is crazy. When humans don't even know if they're going to be alive in the next 60 seconds. My mother prayed for her husband 2 weeks, and 3 months later, married 5 months, and they still married 50 years. Come on now. Come on. Come on. It's a real thing. It's a real thing that God wants to answer your questions. I'm going to show you something. When people go to Hollywood or they sign these big contracts, what normally happens? Thank you. What normally happens? They figure out that they're screwed at the end. Right? I was told that as well. Okay. Right? Don't they normally figure out that their contract is bad after they've already gotten into it? Right? They normally find out they wasn't getting as much money or that the things that they thought were theirs were on loan. It's all these different things, right? Okay. Satan, Lucifer, the enemy wants to keep information from you to get you to sign up for things. And you don't know until the deal is already made that it's not what you thought. Now, God, on the other hand, is going to tell you just about everything that's going, he's going to give you some signs. He ain't making you go in blind. Now, whether you choose to see what he puts in front of your face is up to you, but God wants you to know. This is why when you start hanging around a person, you go to a certain place, you get weird vibes. You're like, I don't know, this is weird. Like, I can't shake this. Because God wants you to know before you go in. Now, he ain't going to tell you every single thing, but he will alert you to if this is good or bad. Lucifer, in his way of governing things, is I'm going to hide as much as I can and put a whole bunch of words on the paper Okay? You said my self-imposed blinders. Okay. God be telling you the truth and you can keep shaking it out your mind and say, no, that's not it. And the devil, when you ask him, is this? No, that's not it. Same words have a completely different meaning behind them. Somebody's trying to tell you the truth and you don't believe it. Or somebody is keeping the truth from you until they don't care if you believe it or not because they already got what they want. You hearing me? One is doing it to be deceitful and to hurt you, and the other person or the other entity is telling you so that you can understand what you're getting yourself into. Same words, no, that's not it, can mean two different things. This person, you're asking for clarity and they BSing you and they're not going to give it to you. This person is telling you the truth, but because it don't sound like what you want to hear, you don't want to listen. You telling God, I want this relationship, I want this job, I want to live in this neighborhood, and he's saying, no, really you don't. And here come Lucifer saying, no, yeah, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. And you're like, I don't know. It might. No. Go ahead and do it. Because he wants your life to be messed up. He wants you to feel trapped. He wants you to feel bound under a mortgage you can't afford and, all of these different things. He wants to keep you bound. God be trying to make sure you stay free. So he's going to tell you things prior to going in so that you can understand. He might only give it to you bit by bit because you can't take the whole thing, but he's going to let you know. Witchcraft and deceit work on hiding the truth until it's too late, or forcing a person into something against their will. Do you hear me? God trying to let you know, they trying to make sure you don't. A person that gets you to go into any type of commitment, covenant, contract, and they don't want to give you all the details, they plan to deceive you, which is forcing, because if I knew, I wouldn't have did it. And God be telling you, hey, this is going to be difficult. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. But it's going to be okay. I'm going to walk you through it. Can you handle this? And even if you can't, you tell me the parts that you can't handle and I'll help you with that. This side want to leave you high and dry, broken and destitute. All the while controlling you and telling you what you can and can't do when God says you can do anything through me. That was me. I was so close to selling my soul in the music industry. Y'all heard that? Some kept telling you shouldn't do it. And they kept trying to hurry up and pressure you to sign, didn't it? Kept telling you what you don't have to worry about. Interesting. Interesting. Wow. All I'm going to say is this, family. There can be so many different things around you. People that are practicing crafts that you don't even know that they practicing. And if you don't have discernment, and if you don't have a strong relationship with God, they can keep saying what is a holy space, but you should feel God's presence in certain places. One of the things that started scaring me is that when I went into, and I'm not talking about nobody else's religion, I'm just going to say for me. I remember walking into Pentecostal churches and you could feel the Shekinah glory in there. You could almost see it. It was like a mist over the people. Everybody was sweating, and it wasn't because it was hot. You could feel the weight of the Shekinah glory on the people. It's like humid and all of this. And I started going into these churches and I didn't feel the spirit at all. There was no conviction to tug on my clothes when I walked in. There was no conviction to make me, pull my hair back and not have it so big. I didn't feel convicted at all. And it wasn't because I was just doing whatever I wanted to do, because at home, God would slap me all upside my head. So I started trying to understand, why do I feel the presence of God heavier in my house than I do in the church? Why do I feel the presence of God heavier in my car than I do when I'm in church? What spirit is running through here that you can't feel the weight of God convicting you for how you live out? Like whoa. Baby, I done felt the presence of God on me so bad. I got to turn around. Like, let me go get a jacket on. Let me put a pin in my, wait a minute, hold on. Tugging on my clothes all day. Baby, and then I don't feel nothing. They singing their hearts out, baby, and the tear came to my throat. I don't feel nothing. Not when they sang, not when they told testimony, not when they preached. And so then I started thinking, something is wrong with me. And it's an obvious difference. Mari, I'm going to be honest. I was like, they said, sister, we ain't seen you a while. And I ain't seen Jesus in here in a while. If we going to talk about it. It makes me uncomfortable when I walk through a church and the hair on my body don't stand up. Why is the spirit of God not high enough to make the hair on my body? I be looking at my arms like, well, I've been waiting for you to come through here. There, he said, oh, no, this ain't my place. They don't want me here. This whole production is about people seeing it. They don't really want me. And I'll tell you why. Because if this lady starts to testify, they'll cut off her testimony. Yep, I used to cry the whole church service, but before I stopped going, I felt nothing. Listen. That part, the Holy Spirit and presence of God stops you at your ankles. It's time to leave. I'm trying to tell you. Either get up from your seat and go to that altar, or I got to get up out of here. I don't know. The Spirit of God then put up the church finger. Okay. I can only use what I know. There have been times that I was in a relationship that God did not approve of, which means I wasn't married and I was dating somebody. And I would walk up in the church, whether I had seen them that day or whatever else it was. And when I tell you, instantly tears would start to flow from my eyes, because I understood I was walking into the presence of God, and it was like, I can't walk up in here like this. I would still stay. But I felt convicted. You see what I'm saying? I went up and went to the altar for prayer. Now you got to be scared of who you let lay hands on you. Now you have to be worried about, is this the pastor's friend or God's friend? Now you can walk up in church and see through clothes, not knocking it. And I'm not talking about people that don't know God. I'm talking about people that know God. God didn't correct, because I come with one button on my dress too low, and it ain't even low. It's like this right here, but I'm in church like this, and I'm like, ooh. I should have, sister, you got you a pen, or be trying to bother your kid's jacket. See, and I'm talking about nothing low. I ain't went to church with no low cut, nothing. But even this right here, I'll be like this. Give me your jacket. When the Holy Ghost really in there, you be like, And it ain't because you were trying to be nothing. You ain't even showing nothing. Now you can walk up in church as a whole minister in a see-through lace ensemble, like you is about to be on a Victoria's Secret runway. Am I wrong? It's only this much solid on your skirt, sister, and the rest of it is lace. Well, that's barely down your thigh. Don't start shouting up there. The Holy Ghost can't even hit you. You can't even really get it, because if you bounce too hard, that slip that's under that see-through thing is going to slide up, and we're going to see all your business in the pulpit. Moving on. Are y'all ready? We just going to leave it there. And we're just going to leave it. Back to the word. Here we go. In the meantime, Saul had removed the mediums and magicians from the land. The Philistines assembled. They came and camped at Shunem. Saul mustered all Israel and camped at Gilboa. When Saul saw the camp of the Philistines, he was absolutely terrified. Wonder why? Because there was a whole bunch of giants out there. So Saul inquired of the Lord, but the Lord did not answer him. Hey, Dad. Hey. Yeah. How happy eternity. Good eternity. Yeah. So I want to talk to you about Saul. Okay. You all right? You got time? Okay, you always got time because you are time. That's right. That's a silly question. So anyway, let me ask you a question. When he would not heed to your warnings, and when you kept telling him to do things and not to do things, and he didn't listen, how long did it take you to quit talking to him? Why did you quit talking to him? Because he wouldn't listen? Interesting. And when you told him to do something, he didn't. And when you told him not to do something, he did. So you figure either way, He wasn't listening, so what is you talking for? Okay, got it. Yeah, because I was just wanting to know what to make you quit talking to a person, because I don't ever want you to quit talking to me. Huh? I better do what you say. Oh, yeah, I'm working on it. So, yeah, I was just, I was wondering. Huh? What we having class? But you know that already. I figured I'd call her and ask her what to make you quit talking. Because I remember you quit talking to Lamech, too. Yeah, he was going all around looking for people to, trying to find a way to get you to talk to him, and you wouldn't. Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, I didn't know if you did that to a lot of people, or so you just quit talking, told her, just got it. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's your voice a lot. You could use it when you feel like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I know you're busy. I'm sorry. Okay, I just wanted to ask the question. All right. Have a good eternity. You don't ever want to get to a time when God don't want to talk to you. Laugh out loud. That part. You see her dad turned it back on her to listen. Huh? I'm a listen. Yeah, because I remember a time when I felt like he wasn't talking to me. And I was screaming at the top of my lungs trying to get his attention. And yeah, I felt like he wasn't listening. Now, thank God he really was. I was just having a fit. But there are people that God will quit talking to. Because if he's telling you to do something and you ain't going to do it, and he's telling you not to do something and you keep on doing it, what use is it for him to talk to you? No matter if what he's saying, his words are falling on deaf ears. But what about when he don't listen to you? He got a lot more time than you do. What if he stopped answering your prayers and don't do what you ask him to do? What if he quit listening to you? What if he quit talking to you? And so then when you on your way into a situation that could cause havoc in your life, he don't warn you. Because you won't listen anyway. You're going to do what you want to do however you feel like it. You said I wouldn't know how to act. Because he don't have to talk to you. I want my prayers to go higher than my ceiling. I'm trying to tell you. There's plenty of people God quit talking to. Whole generations of people at one time, because he didn't talk for like 400 years. And then, so it didn't matter how much he was praying, he wasn't listening. You think being ignored by a person is horrible. You said, ouch, my toes. Uh-oh. Let me get back to this word. I'm just going back over here to the scripture because I don't got time to be playing with people's kids. You said, I did not step on your... No, I'm just playing. Okay. Here we go. Interesting. Interesting. All right. So Saul inquired... Sorry. All right. So Saul inquired of the Lord, but the Lord did not answer him. Not by dreams, nor by the Urim, nor by the prophets. No. Mm-mm. Nope. You'll want to read, I'm going to show you something real quick. Is it Sadia? Not this one. It's in my room on my bed. Y'all, Always the book on my bed. All right. So now that we're reading about witches and warlocks, let's go see what it says about, some things over here. I'm gonna read something. So you see, we've been in a few other places around here, Okay. All right. So you asked me, is divination okay? So I'm gonna read something to you. Do you mind? You all right with me reading something to you? And I'm gonna show you where I'm getting it from, and then I'm gonna read it to you. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. And those men carried me to the northern region, and they showed me there a very frightful place. And all kinds of torture and torment are in that place. Cruel darkness and lightless gloom, and there is no light there. And black fire blazes up perpetually, with a river of fire that comes out over the whole place. Fire here and freezing ice there. And it dries up and it freezes. And very cruel places of detention, and dark and merciless angels carrying instruments of atrocities, torturing without pity. And I said, whoa, whoa, how very frightful is this place? Or this place is, excuse me. And those men said to me, this place, Enoch, has been prepared for those who do not glorify God, who practice on the earth the sin which is against nature, which is child's corruption, in the anus, in the matter of Sodom, of witchcraft, enchantments, divinations, trafficking with demons, who boast about their evil deeds, stealing, lying, insulting, coveting, resentment, fornication, and murder, and who steal the souls of men secretly, seizing the poor by the throat, taking away their possessions, and enriching themselves from the possessions of others, defrauding them who, when they are able to provide sustenance, bring about the death of the hungry by starvation, and when they are able to provide clothing, take away the last garment of the naked, who do not acknowledge their Creator, but bow down to idols which have no souls, which can neither see nor hear, vain gods, constructing images, and bowing down to vile things made by hands. For all these, this place has been prepared for an eternal reward. You tell me. You can screenshot that. Let me go back. So you can read it for yourself. Miss Linda, you know you can catch it on a thing. I love y'all. If you got OTP, it's in Enoch. Second Enoch. You good. We doing too much. I know that is sick of us. I can't even imagine. Wow, I feel like Saul sometimes. Maybe even Lamech. Help me, Dad. I don't want you to stop. Okay. Here we go. Oh, and again, remember I told you that people think I always have to talk to them? You remember I told you that people will try to make me talk to them, and God don't want me to talk to them, and He tell me don't talk to them? Did you see? Because the prophets used to go to Saul, but he wouldn't listen to any of them. So God will stop a prophet from being able to speak to you because he's supposed to be the mouthpiece of God. And if you won't listen to him, then well. So when I tell people, I told you I used to tell that man, God is not. I'm not gonna have to talk to you anymore. Oh, you're always gonna talk to me. I said it's gonna come to a point. First, he said, you always gonna talk to me. Then it was, I don't care if I ever talk to you or whatever he used to say. And I said, you will. Because you're gonna want to talk to me and I'm not gonna talk to you. And that's exactly what happened. When I was talking, you wasn't listening. So then why would God waste his breath that he put down in me when I can then go talk to somebody who actually wants to try and understand and I'm not just wasting my words? But he felt because God called me to do a certain thing that I was going to have to. No, that ain't how it works. That ain't how it works. You hear me? God will make a prophet not talk to you too. In real life. They don't have to. They have a choice too. In real life. So Saul instructed his servants, find me a woman who is a medium so that I may go to her and inquire of her. So since God ain't gonna talk to you, you want to go talk to a witch or a warlock, a medium, a soothsayer, a person that can do divination for you because God didn't quit talking to you or he ain't saying what you want to hear, so you gonna go to his ops and ask for information? Really? Interesting. You're going to ask pieces of paper what your future is going to be, and they can't even flip over by themselves. The desperation, because when you used to God talking to you and sending people to you and giving you your one-ups, and he quit doing that, and you really have to figure it out on your own, and he don't send nobody to come warn you, and he don't send you no dreams or nothing, and it's just blank. You don't hear that little whisper in your mind saying, don't do that, don't go over there. Y'all ain't never seen a person out in public screaming up at the sky for God to answer them? Why won't you talk to me? I didn't seen it. And I be feeling so bad for that person because guess what? A lot of times God sent so many people to him, but he knew they wasn't going to change. So he quit talking. He quit sending people with hope messages for you. He quit sending hard head. Come on. You do not want to get to the place of where you being so disobedient that God just don't talk to you no more. Because he could write off your whole line. Everything that come out of you, depending on how evil or whatever it is that you own, especially if you're teaching other people to defy God. He didn't got rid of a whole generation. He said nobody will ever remember your name. Nobody will ever even know that y'all was a race of people that exist. Ooh. And then you see people and they be like, I'm the last one in my family. I'm not saying this is the whole case, but I'm just saying, I met people where they family don't. Like, damn, it's only 35 of y'all in 4 generations. And only 2 of them got kids. And those kids said they're not having, like, what is going on? Listen, the way he was slaying folks in the Old Testament, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, written out the book of life. You said that's your family on both sides? I said this ain't for everybody. I'm just saying. You're the last of your family too? You know, sometimes you guys don't have to pop up off the page. Sometimes you can wait like 3 minutes. So, so, sometimes y'all don't gotta pop up off the page so fast. Sometimes y'all can wait about a minute and a half to pop up off the page. You don't gotta do it right away. You know, you can take your time, wait 3 minutes, or 4, or 7. Do y'all gotta pop up off the page all the time? Wait a minute, because sometimes I don't know what to say to that. Oh, Jesus. This class gets spookier and spookier by the day. It do. It get a little spooky over here. We have our spooky moments. I'm gonna drink some water. Maury, he do be moving in here, but sometimes it's the supernatural can always be a little, you know. Right, I did. I drank some. Right. In what movie the king was begging God to? What movie? What movie? In Noah? Oh yeah, because that was Tubal Cain. That was Tubal Cain. Yep, that was Tubal Cain. And that was at the same time when Lamech was walking around. Remember Tubal Cain and Lamech? They was all running around together. And that is like a dark age when God said evil was so much on earth, he didn't even want to talk to nobody. You said Frank Rosenwig in the left. Oh, yeah, the dad. The dad that ended up driving for old boy. No. That was the dude that was outside the church. Was that the guy that was outside the church? I thought Frank was... I don't remember. Is it the guy that was outside the church or the dad? It's only 9 family members left in my husband's family on his father's side. Dang. Okay, I went... So you gonna pop up off the page right after, huh? Okay, so let's just keep going. Come on. He said, find me a woman who is a medium so that I might go to her and inquire of her. And his servants replied to him, there's a woman in Endor. I'm sorry, there is a woman who was a medium in Endor. In some places it say a witch, blah, 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 whatever. So Saul disguised himself and put on other clothing and left. The king did this, accompanied by 2 of his men. They came to the woman at night. Interesting. And said, use your ritual pit to conjure up for me the one I tell you. What? Y'all heard that? What book is this? 1 Samuel 18. Use your ritual pit to conjure up for me the one I tell you. But the woman said to him, look, you are aware of what Saul has done He has removed the mediums and the magicians from the land. Why are you trapping me so you can put me to death? But Saul swore an oath to her by the Lord. How you gonna swear an oath by the Lord and the Lord ain't with you no more? He ain't even talking to you, and so why you had to go to the devil and ask questions, and you had the nerve to swear on my daddy's name. He not even talking to you. He was already lying. Might as well continue. Okay. Ain't that crazy? You swear as the Lord lives, and the Lord ain't even talking to you as to why you had to go over here to the witch lady. Interesting. Here we go. Lord, forgive me, because you know this is a parable. Bro, on God, I'm not lying, bro. Bro, on God, I'm telling the truth, bro. Bro, on God, I didn't do nothing to her, bro. Not being a false witness and getting hyped about lying. And be lying all the time. When they get hostile about you, come on, come on, come on. Or you said, or put their hand on the Bible. Come on, come on. All the willy-nilly nonsense, come on. Delusional. So you will put it on God that you not, so you will swear. Okay. Well, let's see what happens with people that be doing that kind of crazy stuff. Is y'all still reading? Are we still here? A false witness. Come on. Come on. We ready? Okay. Okay. But Saul swore an oath to her by the Lord, as surely as the Lord lives, you will not incur guilt in this matter. The woman replied, who is it that I should bring up for you? And he said, bring up for me Samuel. I want to know, how many times have you heard Christians say that magic is not real? I want to know, how many times have you heard that a Christian can't do magic? Somebody that God used before can't do magic. Oh, God that used them tremendously. There's no way they could be a witch or a warlock. Once the Spirit of God left Saul, once the Holy Ghost was not giving him intuition and discernment and favor anymore, he turned and went to the same people that he was unaliving when he was on God's side, because they are enemies of God. So instantly, once God left Saul, Saul went to the vet. You heard what she said. I ain't about to do no magic. You trying to set me up because Saul, don't know Saul sitting right in front of her. The very nigga that ran him out the town and was unaliving people for doing magic and witchcraft is sitting at her table now because God won't talk to him. Not only that, the woman replied, "Who is it that I should bring up for you?" And he said, "Bring up for me Samuel." Samuel is a prophet of God. He said, "Bring up for me Samuel." When the woman saw Samuel, she cried out loudly. The woman said to Saul, "Why have you deceived me? You are Saul." Hold on. So the witch had enough power to bring up the prophet's soul from Tardis, from whatever you call it, the purgatory, because this is prior to Jesus. So everybody went to this holding space for the most part. The witch had the power to bring up Percy Jackson mama so she could talk to him even though she was in purgatory. Oh, you mean the same thing happened with Samuel and Saul and the witch at Endor, where you see the face in the flame and you really talking to that spirit? They had the power to do so. Witches are very real today and are. So then, when Christians don't understand that magic is really real and they don't know what it looks like and they don't, oh, that's evil. I don't. How you gonna fight your enemy? Please help me understand. How will you even know if a person is telling you to say a spell if you don't even understand incantations? And I'm not saying go read magic and learn about it in that way, but you would want to familiarize yourself with symbols and different things just in case somebody give you a gift with a symbol on it. Gotta be aware. It's folks that have got potpourri bags and didn't even understand it was a hex bag. You said hallelujah anyhow. Never gonna let these problems get me down. Oh, wondering why as soon as it touched down in your car, now your car is having problems. Oh, okay. Where's your discernment? And do you even really have the power of Christ? Because the hex bag shouldn't have worked. You remember the story of Joseph, the witch brought spells. He said, "I'm going to drink it right in front of you to let you know your power ain't more than God's." So why did the hex work? Fake Holy Ghost ain't going to stop a real hex. Fake anointing is not going to stop a spell being put on you. Hello. You can shout and fake your Holy Ghost all you want to in church, but it's real enemies of your spirit out here. Do you hear me? You said the keys of Solomon, the lesser keys. Yeah. It's real spells out here. Do you understand me? And if you don't have the real Holy Ghost, you messing. Don't let your pastor tell you better ask God if you filled up. Because you got to understand, once you claim that you're a Christian, you are now enemy to Lucifer and his folks and his demons that deceive these people. Do you hear me? Somebody tried to do one on me. I collected it and handed it back to her. Somebody handed you a hex back, Auntie. I'm about to go make me some tea. I'll be right back. I need some honey and some. You just wait one moment. I know it to be true. So lately, every time I make me some tea, I do not look for where I'm putting the straw in instead of just having it already in there, and I poke a hole in my tea bag every single time, and then I go to drink and it's all that tea in there. So I had to strain it, and I couldn't find my strainer. It was right in front of my face. Sorry about that, child. There was an older lady to y'all. She didn't want me with her son. Wow. Mm-mm. No. But I know about the first sacred women. So I haven't read that book, but I do know about the first sacred women. And they wasn't sacred to God. You said, oh, we wasn't going nowhere. My ex-husband did put a spell on me, but God had me covered, and so nothing major happened. Yep. Yep. Once divorced, he married a woman and did the same thing to her, and she went crazy and unalived someone because of him. Baby, I believe one of my exes tried to put a hex on me too. And his grandma, which I'm sure of it. Last time I seen him, I think he tried to give me a spell. Talking about read this every day. Hell no. And ain't. Don't want no parts of that, sir. None whatsoever. Y'all ready? Here we go. So the king said to her, don't be afraid, but what have you seen? The woman replied to Saul, I have seen a divine being coming up from the ground. He said to her, what about his appearance? She said, an old man is coming up, and he is wrapped in a robe. Then Saul realized it was Samuel, and he bowed his face toward the ground and kneeled down. Samuel said to Saul, so the dead is talking to Saul. Why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? And Saul replied, I am terribly troubled. The Philistines are fighting against me, and God has turned away from me. He does not answer me anymore, nor by the prophets, nor by dreams. So I have called on you to tell me what I should do. Interesting. Samuel said, why are you asking me? Now that the Lord has turned away from you and has become your enemy, the Lord has done exactly as I prophesied. Interesting. The Lord has torn the kingdom from your hand and has given it to your neighbor Saul. Excuse me. Since you did not obey the Lord and did not carry out his fierce anger against the Amalekites, the Lord has done this thing to you today. The Lord will hand you and Israel over to the Philistines. Tomorrow, both you and your sons will be with me here in death. The Lord will also hand the army of Israel over to the Philistines. Saul quickly fell full length on the ground and was very afraid because of Samuel's words. He was completely drained of energy, having not eaten anything all that day and night. When the woman came to Saul and saw how terrified he was, she said to him, your servant has done what you have asked. I took my life into my own hands and did what you told me. Now it's your turn to listen to your servant. Let me set before you a bit of bread so that you can eat. When you regain your strength, you can go on your way. But he refused, saying, I won't eat. Both his servants and the woman urged him to eat, so he gave in. He got up from the ground and sat down on the bed. Now the woman had a well-fed calf at her home that she quickly slaughtered. Taking some flour, she kneaded it and baked bread without leaven. She brought it to Saul and his servants, and they ate. And they arose and left that same night. What did she prepare for him? His last meal. His last meal. Baby, she knew he was about to die. She heard what the prophet said. So the witch said, "Oh, baby, you in trouble. Come on, get up, eat something, because this is the last time you going to eat over here." Now, what's real spooky, now, look at how the irony of God works. God quits talking to you, but right before that, you were unaliving all the witches, all the warlocks. It was a Salem witch trials, like for real. Okay, so then you quit obeying God because he told you to get rid of all the Amalekites, unalive them niggas, and you didn't do it. So then he quit talking to you. So you went to the witch, the very witches that you used to be trying to kill, and then the people that you used to be trying to unalive got to hear that you about to be unalive tomorrow because you was disobedient to the Almighty God. What is the irony? I mean, how in the world do this book you if this ain't the best movie you ever watched? Y'all got that? The prophet said, "Why are you bothering me now when I was trying to tell you what God had to say? You didn't want to listen to me. No, I don't have no words for you. Leave me alone. Matter of fact, you'll be able to talk to me about it tomorrow." You'll be able to talk to me about it. You about to be down here with me. Don't worry about it. You hear me? Ain't that crazy? He wish he never came. Miss Square. He wish he would have just stayed not knowing. Now you sick. Oh, tomorrow your last day on the planet. Oh, God. Oh, God. I was not expecting that. I thought, I don't know what. Folks be like, I just rather not know. So now you don't know. You know it's tomorrow that you're going to leave, but you don't know what time. You already know when you go into this battle, you're going to lose. You're dying tomorrow. It's the last time you're going to see your kids. It's the last time you're going to see your mama. It's the last time you're going to see the sunlight, the moonlight, the birds, the cows, the chickens. You think his walk home was different? You think he was trying to take in as much as his eyes could see? Also understanding that right before you died, God left you. Remember, he said them people that's in hell, he ain't going to hear them screaming. He going to turn a deaf ear to them, how he did when they was on earth and they turned a deaf ear to him. Could you imagine not being even able to call on God when you die? Because even if you do, he's already stopped speaking to you. Yeah, I want to play. Okay. What do you, pumpkin? Mm-hmm. If you want to read the rest of this or more into it, I won't say the rest. but you can read in detail because they even see in the Bible they don't tell you her name, but in Pseudo-Philo they do. Her name is Sedekla. That was her name, and she was the daughter of a Midianite diviner. So if you got your book too, go to 376, page 376 in book 2. And y'all be wanting to play with God, baby. His irony be so. You be like, ooh, wait a minute. I mean, not irony. His payback. You had to go to the people that you was just trying to unalive and was scared of you, and he let your enemy. He like, ooh, you were gonna prepare a place for a seat at your table for your enemies. She did. But she also got to hear his demise, which and all she got to. Y'all don't think that's crazy? This tea be so good. I hate that it didn't get to steep as long as I wanted it to. But that honey, this Miss Lisa sent me, stupid. He was dealt with swiftly. God do not play, honey. Hey. So look, it's on page 376, right here where it says the witch of Endor says, and after that, this Samuel died, and all Israel gathered together and wept. We're not going to read all of this. I just want to read, where is it? Oh, I guess I will read most of it. Okay. So it says, Israel gathered together and wept over him and buried him. Then Saul thought and said, because I am to expel the wizards from the land of Israel, they will be mindful of me after my departure. And Saul scattered all the wizards from the land. Interesting. And God said, behold, Saul has not driven the wizards out of the land for fear of me, but to make a name for himself. Interesting. Behold, he will go to those whom he has scattered to obtain divination from them, because he has no prophets. And then the Philistine said each from his to his neighbor, behold, Samuel the prophet is dead. Who prays for Israel? And David, who fought on their behalf, is Saul's enemy. And is he not with them? And now let us rise up and go I'm sorry, y'all. And now let us rise up and go and fight and attack them and avenge the blood of our fathers. And the Philistines gathered together and came for battle. And when Saul saw that Samuel was dead and David was not with him, his hands grew faint. And he inquired of the Lord, but he did not listen to him. And he sought out prophets, and none appeared to him. And Saul said to the people, let us seek out some medium and inquire of him what I should plan out. And the people answered him, behold, there is a woman, Sedekla by name. And this is the daughter of the Midianite diviner, who led the people of Israel astray with sorceries. And behold, she dwells in Endor. And Saul put on his worst clothes and went off to her. And he and 2 men with him by night, and said to her, raise up Samuel for me. And she said, I fear King Saul. And Saul said to her, you will not be harmed by Saul in this manner. And Saul said to himself, when I was king in Israel, even if the Gentiles did not see me, they knew nevertheless that I was Saul. And Saul asked the woman, saying, have you ever seen Saul? I'm sorry. And And she said, I have seen him often. Saul went outside and wept and said, behold, now I know that my appearance has been changed, and the glory of my kingdom has passed from me. Sin change your appearance? Instantly, as soon as God's glory left his life, he didn't even look the same. Because he asked her, you ever seen? She said, yeah, I seen Saul a lot of times. He went outside and wept. See, that part ain't anybody. He went outside and wept because she didn't even recognize him at first. Talk about a literal example of the anointing being snatched. Mari! You said I need a nap after that. So the outside matches the inside. Danielle. This nigga went outside and cried. He said, you ever seen Saul? Saul? She was like, yeah, I seen him a lot. And you don't even know you looking at him? Because when he scattered the witches, he did it for his glory, not for God's. Have y'all not picked up on the pattern that once God leave you alone and quit messing with you, your appearance changes? And I'm not talking about because you're going through something. Didn't he change Lucifer and his homeboys' appearance? Because they wanted the glory for them and not for him? Huh? Lucifer and them got changed, didn't they? They was the most beautiful, they got changed. Okay. When we disobeyed God and didn't do what we were supposed to do, didn't he change us too? We now have a skin that's a curse. It's cursed. This body is cursed. It's cursed to die. But we had glorious bodies that would just go to sleep. They didn't decay. There was no disease in them. No pain, no heart. The tree that they ate from, didn't the appearance of that change? It withered. The tree that Jesus walked by that wasn't producing anything. He said, if I come back by here in a couple months or days or whatever, and I don't see no fruit on this tree, I'm gonna wither it. And did he wither it? My granny could tell when I feel off, and she would say, you was doing so good. What you doing? Oh, I already know it. I already know it. I already know it. Listen. Wrinkle. Isn't it crazy that the farther that you get away from God, the worse you look? Disobedience starts in your mind. But it starts to affect your physical appearance. It don't even gotta be no substance abuse. It don't. Stress. That tea is really good. Oh, okay. Oh, wrong thing. Sorry, y'all. I know we be having all this stuff over here. Okay, let's go. All right. It says, and the glory of my kingdom has passed from me. And when the woman saw Samuel rising up and she saw Saul with him, she shouted out and said, behold, you are Saul. And why have you deceived me? And he said to her, don't be afraid, but tell me what you have seen. And she said, behold, 40 years have passed since I began raising up the dead for the Philistines. Just want to see something. Josiah. David. Got it. Good. Okay. So there's David and there's Saul. Got it. Interesting. I'm just looking. Who all was alive when the witches had the power to okay. Ages. And who is this? I'm looking for some names that we know in other Shishak made an alliance with Solomon. Okay, so that was after David. We know Hiram. So in Phoenicia, I'm trying to see what other people that we know. So I know the Spartans was going on at this time. Sparta. I mean, they had been, but let's see. Well, we'll just say the Spartans because that's lining up with David. So David was alive when Aegis and his sons was alive. Meles, the king, the first in Lydia. Okay. So definitely when Sparta was happening, David and Goliath was alive. I mean, David, Goliath, and Saul was alive. Sparta. The Spartans. Y'all got y'all big books. Y'all can see it. But when you go down that timeline, so did we think that David would be alive when the Spartans were running around? This is Sparta. Was there supernatural beings in Sparta? Didn't they say gods lived in? Yeah. Well, when you go down at this timeline, when David and Saul was living, when Sparta was happening. Interesting. And Aegis and his sons from Sparta. Interesting. I was trying to see if there was some more names that we knew, but I'm not familiar with any of these other ones. Interesting. Excuse me. I was just trying to see who all they was fighting because I know it was giants back then and monsters. Yeah. So that's cool to know You said in 300 they did have wizards and oracles. They did. And they have special powers. I think in one of our classes, and I can't remember, that King Arthur was supposed to be living at that time too, wasn't he? Didn't we do a study on that? Did we find out if King Arthur was living at King David's time? The fictional king? I think we did do a study on that and found out, wasn't it like around the same time? So if all of those beings could be, we did do. I believe we did do that. And somewhere when we was researching, I can't remember all of it, but I remember that it was close to the time that David and Solomon was around. So what all was in we did do it. Okay. So what all was in the Knights of the Round Table with King Arthur? What were some things that were depicted in all the movies? It was witches and warlocks and all kind of stuff, wasn't it? It confirms the dragons. It does. Sure do. Because it was dragons in King Arthur. And it was dragons when Noah and them was here. Oh, it's right there in my face. I think he's fighting a... Oh, no, he ain't fighting a dragon on none of these. I thought of... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Nope. Lady of the Lake. Sages. Did they have flying carpets? Well, I'm sure they probably did because Solomon had them. But they had flying apparatuses before that, too. Trying to see if they had any depictions. So that means Excalibur you know what I was thinking about too? I wonder if the clothing, because I think we read this somewhere before too, that cloak that was making Hercules and them invincible, that old boy stole Adam and Eve's clothing, I think David had that. I think Jonathan had it too. Because they say it was a, what do you call it? The things that the Arab men wear. I can't think of it right now. What is it called? What is it called? I can't think of it right now. We just read it and I can't think of what David gave him. What is that? The specific, what is that called? Not a turban. Not his head wrap. The actual tunic. His tunic. The tunic. Right? But what if it had either the animal fur? I believe in my heart that it was the same thing that was give it like a cloak, right? I'm wondering if it was the clothes, because remember everybody that had them clothes from, or like that animal fur on them that went into battle, they won. They were invincible. The people that got to wear Adam and Eve's clothes, remember? Yeah, this is what made Nimrod a mighty warrior, because he had Adam and Eve's clothes. That, which one was it? It was one of Noah's sons that stole them. And he gave them to his son. I'm wondering if David, what Jonathan handed to David was actually that. Because there are pictures that you can, different pictures depicted of King David with like animal fur on his thing right here, where he's sitting on his throne. Yeah, I'm thinking, and I'm not for sure, but it makes sense how that was passed down. Just like the staff that Moses had, several other people had that staff, and it showed up. It was Abraham's, it was Moses's, it was a couple of different people's staff, but it used to be Adam's. No one could harm him with it on. Right. And David was like invincible as long as he, I keep thinking about Doctor Strange and Percy Jackson. It is a real thing. Think about that though. Because God called Nimrod a mighty his mantle. Right. Right. But these was the clothes that Adam and Eve, that God had made for Adam and Eve. Also, throughout different stories, most powerful warriors wore some kind of fur on their clothes. Right. Right. And I'm thinking that that's probably what he handed him. Because Jonathan was a good warrior too. But he gave him his bow. He gave him his clothing, his belt, all of that. And think about it. Even the Vikings, what do they always have on their shoulders? And they were the what? The Bible called them mighty. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Happy you made it home safely, pumpkin. Right. Now we know why they always depict them like that. Because there's even still African people that live in the bush and different things, and they'll still have like lions coming to America. They always have the skins and a staff. And that's what Adam and Eve had. He had the branch from the garden, pelts, right? Wakanda too. Okay. And didn't they staffs have some kind of power too? Hey, Auntie Judy. Didn't they staffs have some kind of like electric something or something that went through them? And Hercules means lion, which is scary. Okay. All right. Well, we just putting pieces together. It's okay. We putting pieces together. Recharged. Yes. All right. Here we go. So, she said, behold, 40 years have passed since I began raising up the dead for the Philistines. But such a sight as this has never been seen before, nor will it be seen afterwards. And Saul said to her, what is his appearance? She said, you are asking me about divine beings. For behold, his appearance is not the appearance of a man. For he is clothed in a white robe with a mantle placed over it, and two angels are leading him. And so Saul remembered the mantle that Samuel tore when he was alive. And he struck his hand on the ground and pounded it. And Samuel said to him, why have you disturbed me by raising me up? And I thought that the time for being rendered of my rewards of my deeds had arrived. And so do not boast, king, nor you, woman, for you have not brought me forth, but that order that God spoke to me while I was still alive, that I should come and tell you that you have sinned now a second time in neglecting God. Therefore, after rendering up my soul, my bones have been disturbed, so that I am who I'm sorry, y'all. So that I who am dead should tell you what I heard while I was alive. Wow. Now therefore tomorrow you and your sons will be with me when the people have been delivered into the hands of the Philistines, and because your insides were eaten up with jealousy, what is yours will be taken from you. Interesting. And Saul heard the words of Samuel and grew faint and said, behold, I am going to die with my sons. Perhaps my destruction will be an atonement for my wickedness. And Saul rose up and went away from there. That's messed up. Now, we read this story in the Bible, 1 Samuel, but it sounds like this make more sense. Your actions hit different when it could affect your kids. Come on. And his jealousy of David. I don't want no parts of it. And now y'all see why I don't do jealous people, baby. Tell me that's not crazy. What chapter are we reading in? We in book 2. We're not in the Bible. We in book 2 on page 376. But we read in 1 Samuel 18. So you see how now you see why I like reading the lost books? Cause it give you the rest of the story. Even though I need to charge up my thing so I'll be able to see the words. Y'all feel the difference? She said, I've been bringing up dead people for 40 years. I ain't never seen nobody that looked like that because the angels went and got him. Jealousy not only got him destroyed, but his lineage and his country. Oh, okay. Hercules. I mean, what did you did all that for what? Now y'all understand why I say I don't want nothing nobody else got. I only want my stuff. Y'all hear me saying that all the time? I don't care about how your body looks. I do not care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want no jealousy on the inside. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I do not want it. Take it. Do whatever you want to do with it. I don't care. But think about it. Love triangles got people unalived and their kids was without their parents. Because somebody was jealous. There are people that have been unalived by their friends for what they have because they were jealous. And those people's parents, auntie, uncle, if they had kids or whatever it is, their lineage was affected. Because they might have unalived this person, but this person don't never get to come out of jail. I don't want no parts of it. He was sick. Let me ask y'all a question. Where was Saul sick at? Where was he sick at? In his mind. But his mind caused him to run to the devil. Then, once he got the information, it made him weak to his knees, and he found out the day that he was going to die. That's like death row for real. Because they never tell you what day is coming. You just stay on death row until that morning, right? And then they call you. Because they don't even tell you if it's the next day, do they? Or do they tell you it's the next day? Because they don't give you no whole bunch of days, right? Or do they? They know? I'm saying they don't know a long time in advance, do they? I thought they only told them like a day or so before they get ready to get, what's the name? You said it's a line of people, but they don't know the dates. That's what I'm, it don't, because they give you your last meal. I know that. Is months ahead, or do you know? I thought it was only like 1 or 2 days. So you know for 6 months the day. It could be up to 3 months. Really? So is that any day between the 3? If you can't appeal it, they move you into a special cell. They let you speak to a priest before they know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. I didn't think it was no long time. I know they be on death rows for years. I'm talking about once you know that they're getting close. I think you only know the final month, but they're not going to tell you the time. They give you a date, but you can appeal it. So you'll know if it's like on the 30th the next month. I thought it was like a week or two, no more than a day or two before. So I'm way wrong then. I thought they didn't tell you. I know they came in like well, maybe that's just all the documentaries that I watch, because I thought it was not that long. People know, but I thought they didn't let them know, because I get the stay of execution part. Y'all, I understand how that part works. I thought once they told you the day, you didn't really get that much time. It ain't no 6-7 months in between there. I thought it was only like a week or two, something like that, before that they getting ready to do it. I didn't know it was up to 3 months. I didn't think it was that long. No more than 2 weeks. I thought it was like a couple of days, 24 hours. Well, whatever the case, he got that date that he knew it was going to be tomorrow. I thought it wasn't that long before, but I don't know. However it works, he had 24 hours, less than 24 hours, because he told him, you going to be over here with me. Could you imagine? You said they are uncertain of the execution. That's what Google says. They return to court. The prosecutor requests an execution date. Okay, I don't know. Well, we know he got his execution date, and not only his execution date, but his son's dates too. You don't think that's crazy? The Amalekites was giants. The Amalekites was giants and the Philistines was giants. God told Saul to go do whatever he's supposed to do to the Amalekites, and he didn't do it. So then God still turned around and let another giant army, not just giant in size, but giant people, come in. So you still got murked by some giants. You should have just did what God told you to do, and your sons will still be alive. It varies from state to state and jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Okay. Y'all don't think that's crazy? Do this make you think differently about not listening when God is telling you something? Especially if he keep bringing it to your mind, keep bringing it to your mind, keep bringing it to your mind, and you just keep doing him like this, like he a fly or a net. So, because of his disobedience, he not only got himself killed, but his sons, and got the people of Israel taken into captivity. And got the people of the soldiers was taken captive by the Philistine army and made into slaves. And who? Because wasn't nobody there to protect Israel. The soldiers protect them. So once you get the soldiers, you taking a city. One person's actions maybe got millions of people taken, or hundreds of thousands of people taken. This is why sometimes I don't like this cup. Yep. Yep. One apple spoiled the bunch. Sorry. That's why I went to get help today. I'm listening. I know that's right. That part. Oh, Jesus. You said this class just got me shaking my head. That part. Man, the way I would have been cussing him out like, you fool. Hilarious. I mean, that's why I be saying, I don't be knowing how people just be acting like that. It's fluffy. Like, his get back game is unreal. And the way he do it be so cold, you be like, oh God. See, y'all be laughing at me when I do that. But baby, my knees did knock together and I done fell to the ground when God didn't been angry with me. Folks be bold, talking crazy. I be like, ooh, I'm good. Hold on, Dad. Let me move out the way just in case you send a lightning down because I don't need it hitting me. I'm good. You see, it feels like when we read Second Baruch. Yeah. But most of the story, okay. Y'all know the story of David and Saul. We've read it here just in the regular book, in the regular Bible. But when you read it and you get now do y'all understand why I say the details are so important? Now do you understand why you just don't want that surface? You need the rest of it. Don't you feel like the rest of it is vital for your salvation? Why they be talking about what do the lost books got to do with salvation? Way more than you know. Because it breaks down that nitty gritty where on that one pages you might have thought you was, getting away. But now it's going to break it on down. I need the deets. Me too, Sarah. Me too. And do. I need to know what's going on. Cause and effect. Come home. And to understand that generations of people can be affected by your bad decisions. Who knows the hundreds of people that could have come out of Saul's sons? Them lines was cut off. How do you understand the details? Because sometimes it's difficult to understand. Well, we read books like this, Pumpkin, that go all the way in detail. Because the KJV is definitely difficult because it's not all there. But these are the middles of those stories that you read in the Bible. These and a couple other ones. Like if you want to know what happened with Adam and Eve and different things like that, because it just seems like all the information isn't there. How can you understand if it ain't all there? Right? So books like this help a lot. Okay. So you use this with your Bible. So when you read something in here, go and see if you can find it in your regular Bible, which you should. There should be something about the story. And once you do, it'll start unlocking. It will start unlocking. And because you want to know, God is going to help you. The easiest way, too, is to, I know this sounds crazy, but look up the definition of every word that you read, other than the and they. Every single name, every single city, every single word, look it up. Because a lot of people just read, but they don't know, look up every word, write it down, and then go back and read it, and it'll make a lot more sense. For real. Go do the history on the, yeah, that's the easiest way. And don't try to read a whole chapter. Read just 4 or 5 scriptures. I'll be right back, y'all. 4 or 5 scriptures and take those and dissect them. If it take you 2 weeks, get that, you know what I mean? Don't rush it. All right, family, I'm probably about to go. We did 2 classes today, but I wanted to get one in before I went to sleep. Because I'm probably going to eat and be in the bed watching TV or something. I fell asleep watching the new episode of Game of Thrones last night. I started watching it and I went on into sleep. So I'm going to watch that. Excuse me. And give y'all some time to chill out. I've been in y'all ear all day. So, and I'm going to finally eat something today. It's crazy. I've been all day and my appetite still is just like whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't too much care for it. I know when you get older, your body be changing, but I like food a lot. And the fact that I don't have a taste for nothing. Something related. Julius Jones. What happened? A man convicted of a crime he didn't commit has been on death row for 20 plus years. Wow. Sarah, you can't never take away from our class. Girl, do you realize you helping somebody today? You are not taking away from this class. You adding to it. You just help somebody else know that they can get a problem with they can get help with their problem too. They been worried about it. Believe you help some people today. It don't gotta be alcoholism. It could be whatever they addicted to or tired of doing. It could be a relationship they trying to get out of. Baby, you just gave some folks some help today. Oh, okay. I think I might have looked into a little bit of that. Yeah, you helped some people today, girl. Don't ever apologize for telling your testimony. Hot Tomato says CERCA gets a pinch. I mean, not CERCA. Sarah gets a pinch. You helping folks. That's what we do. Listen, we overcome by the words of our testimony over here, honey. We gonna tell, look, because we gonna get to be here when you be like, oh, I've been however long free. And we gonna rejoice the same way we rejoice with you this day that you making the steps. We gonna rejoice with you once you done already completed them all. Girl, come on. This a real space over here. And gonna be praying for you too. You just helped some people. I'm trying to tell you, you did. Don't ever apologize for telling your testimony about the things because that God got to change your mind for that. You hear me? He had to put it on your heart for you to even think about it. So, you just helped somebody. They was trying to make a decision today on if they should do a certain thing or not, and you just helped them finalize their decision. For real. Yeah. We are here for all the stories. Ain't we, Auntie Judy? Auntie Judy said we here for all the stories. And is. We need to hear as many testimonies as we can, honey. Because you got to think, people got other people that are struggling with similar things, and they can go and tell the testimony that someone in the community today made a decision. Like, you don't know who your testimony is going to affect today. Somebody might come and watch this in 2 months, Sarah, and see us saying this to you, girl, and you blessing them in 2 months. Like, we don't know what God about to do with your testimony, but I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful to be a part of it, honey. Looking to see more and more and more people set free from the enemy's grasp, honey, or whatever it is. Like, yeah. This ain't fake church. You can tell your testimonies over here. I just hope that if it's not too crazy, you wait until later on in the class. Like, if you see we happy and it's something real sad, y'all know we had that conversation. But for real, no, we love testimonies over here. So, I love y'all. I'm not going to keep y'all. I'm about to go get in my bed probably. First, I need to figure out what I want to eat. I think I'm going to make me some chicken salad. It's a chicken salad. I think that's what I'm going to make. I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking about it. So, we shall see. But hopefully, today, in both of these classes, God spoke to your heart, you know? Because it's the simple things that God be worried about. It's not always the big grand things. A lot of times it's how do you think, how do you treat people, all of that. And as y'all can see, jealousy is not something you want to have anywhere around you. Either in you or people that are around you. That's why I told you I don't deal with jealous folks. They'll destroy them and you. You're making tuna fish. I'm thinking about it, Auntie. I kind of got a taste for that. And I got some Doritos. So that's probably what I'm going to do because I like to eat my chicken salad with Doritos. Crackers too, but really Doritos. I like that cheesy on my hands with the tuna or chicken salad. It'd be real good. Hey, you're welcome. I love y'all. You said I like. See, I didn't like that. That it's a chicken salad, and is nephew, and is it's a chicken salad, and that's probably what I'm about to make too. Mm-hmm. And I got some chicken thighs in there, so that's probably what I'm gonna make it with. Cause I got canned, but I like to cook my chicken in like olive oil with garlic and season it up real good, and then make it like that. Cause I like to eat my chicken salad warm, not cold, or at least room temperature. So I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. I love everybody. You had my eyes sweating this morning. My dad had your eyes sweating this morning. Girl, my eyes were sweating this morning. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sweet dreams to you too. Good night, y'all.